JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time, as always, with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 26th of February 2020, so yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, just a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we update on a daily basis. So yeah, guys, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research page right there, guys, so on the top, so here, so yeah, and it'll take you to our page, which we update on a daily basis. So I believe you can find some useful information here. But right now, let's jump into the charts. Now, the first one I want to touch on here is the DAX, the German index. I talked about this one this morning, and basically what I was saying, that in a way, our next target was around here, around the 12,604 territory. But as you can see, the index kind of drifted even further, even below than that, and reached our target, one of our targets here, near the 12,368 zone. So this is basically not. It was not far from this low, the low of the 14th of October, and yep, it kind of overshot it a little bit, and yep, dropped here. But as you can see, the index has retraced somewhat, and it actually retraced a lot already. So it has already retraced almost around 400 points from the lows of today. The big question here is, can this or should I say, how far can this retracement continue? Because if it retraces a little bit more but remains below this 12,900 territory, then, well, I mean, we could see another round of selling, potentially drifting back towards these lows. However, if it pushes back above this highlighted territory here, pushes above the 12,900 zone, or even gets back above the psychological 13,000 zone, then yep, we may see maybe a bit of a larger correction here to the upside, because we would still be below this this upside support line that was broken yesterday. This upside support line is running from the low, the 15th of August. So for us to get excited about higher levels, well, to be honest, we would like to see this one pushing back above this upside line before kind of we could consider any slightly higher levels. Until then, any move higher could still be seen as a temporary correction. Now then, guys, jumping into the Dow Jones Industrial Average here. With this index here, and if I look at the cash index right now, and let me just bear with me one moment. So the cash index has rebounded as well. So basically, you can see that yesterday we've managed to close above this upside support line, taken from the low of June, and one moment. Okay, so let me just have a quick look at where the Dow Jones is currently sitting at. So basically, that's currently sitting at around the 27,200 zone. So basically, it's above this upside support line taken from the low of the 3rd of June. In a way, as long as it remains above here, then yep, there could be still a chance for the bulls. But to be honest, be very careful, be very cautious here. If this upside line suddenly starts failing to withhold, then yep, further declines could be possible. Of course, we'll keep an eye on some of these areas of support, and let me just quickly put that on the chart here. One of the levels here that we will watch is around here, around the 26,735. That's the low of the 24th of October. A nice good drop below this could in a way also lead towards further declines. This would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, more sellers could be joining in here. For now, we can see that the index is still balancing above this upside line, and the big question here is, can this rebound and push back to the upside? Of course, that would be quite interesting to see, but let's face it, for now, still, as long as the coronavirus issue remains, then, well, I mean, this could continue being under pressure, under some selling pressure. So in a way, for us to maybe start considering slightly higher levels, ideally we would like to see a push back above the 28,000 here, and a push above the 200 EMA here on the 4-hour chart, and only then, yep, we could target slightly higher levels. For now, it's leaning more towards the downside, but again, we'll be very careful near this upside support line. If it gets broken, only then we will aim for further declines. For now, we're very close to it, so let's keep an eye on it. DXY. Now, the dollar index, I've talked about this one recently, and basically I was telling you guys that given the fact that we're continuing to trade below this downside resistance line taken from the high of the 20th of February, there is still a good chance for this one to drift lower. Now, we did get a push to the downside yesterday. We dropped below this key area of support, previously support, in the 99.23 zone. Now it's acting as a good area of resistance, also coinciding here with this downside resistance line. So in a way, if all this area continues to hold, we could see another round of selling here. But to be on the safe side, what we could do here is just keep an eye on the lows of yesterday near the 98.88 zone, and a drop below this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and yep, we could see this one drifting further south. If by any chance it breaks this downside line and pushes above this little obstacle right here, let me just put this on the chart, pushes above this 99.39 zone, then yep, there could be a possibility for this one to drift back to the upside here. So again, for now, guys, long story short, in order for us to get excited about the downside, we need to see a drop below this little territory here, below the 98.88 zone. But in order to aim for higher levels, we would like to see a push above the 99.39 level. So let's keep an eye on that one. Bitcoin Cash. So I talked about this one this morning, and basically what I was saying that and I talked about this one previously, where also I was saying that in order for us to aim for further declines, we need to see a good drop below this 363, 354 territory. We got that yesterday, and as you can see, it continues to drift lower. Our target was and still is the area around the psychological 300 zone, so approximately around here, and that's not far from the lows of January, the end of January, let's put it that way. For now, like I said, yes, we are aiming for lower levels. We are aiming for that psychological 300 zone, maybe just even a little bit lower, the 296 zone, but again, the main target for us is the 300 level. In terms of the upside here now, of course, we would ideally prefer to see a pushback above the 409 zone, but which is the high of the 23rd of February. But in a way, given that the crypto has already moved kind of lower decently, in a way, a pushback above the 363 zone could in a way maybe spark a bit of more interest among buyers, but still, like I said, the more comfortable level for us is the 409 zone, so we would like to see a push above that before considering higher areas. USDCAD. Now, very quickly on this, USDCAD, I talked about this one previously, and what I was saying that yes, given the fact that we managed to break above the 1.3278 zone, then yep, that was a good sign for the bulls. We saw the bulls pushing the rate higher towards this 1.3304 territory, but the main target for us was and still remains the 1.3328 zone, which is near the highest point of February. In a way, for now, you can see that this 1.3304 territory kind of continues to keep the area, keep the rate lower. We do get a few overshoots, but we don't get a 4-hour candle close. Oh, and by the way, we probably could actually lift this a little bit higher here, just to be on the safe side. So this level here, the 1.330708 territory. So this is what we're going to look at. If a nice good push above this, and ideally a close of a 4-hour candle could in a way open the path towards higher levels. I mean, this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, yep, and could open the path towards this 1.3328. But the only thing is that because it's so close already, in a way, if it pops above this 1.33007, then in a way it could just easily overcome this the February high and continue pushing further north. By further north, I mean we will then target the 1.3348 territory, which is the highest point of October of last year. So something to keep an eye on, guys. For now, we're more bullish than bearish on this one. For us to consider the downside, well, ideally we would like to see a break of this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 7th of January and the drop below the 200 EMA on the 4-hour chart. And in addition to that, ideally we would like to see a move below the 1.3198 area, and only then target lower areas. So keep your eyes on that one. GBPUSD. So GBPUSD had an attempt today to stay above the highest point of January, near the 1.9754 territory, roughly around there. But as you can see, we did get an overshoot, but it didn't really quite stay above it. So all this area kind of held nicely. So in a way, how we could play this one out right now, and let me just probably clear this chart, clear all the lines here, and we'll start a little bit fresh. So given the steep upside move here, we can draw this nice short-term tentative upside support line, which we will keep an eye on, because if we get a break of this upside line, then in a way it increases the chances of a further drift lower for a slightly larger correction, because we do have another upside line here, a bit of a tentative one, but nevertheless we'll keep that on the chart. So this one's taken from the low of the 14th of January. So in a way, if this upside line gets broken, then yep, we could consider a deeper move to the downside towards this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 14th of January. Now, in terms of the upside, and as long as it kind of stays above all these lines, all these upside lines, in a way we can stick to this high here, the highest point of January, and if we do get a nice good break above this again, and ideally if we see a nice good 4-hour candle close above this territory, then well, this would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and yep, we could see this one drifting further north. For now, we're considering a possibility maybe to see a bit of a larger correction, but for that we would need to see a break of this upside support line. So for now, the rate is balancing above it. Let's see if this steep upside line can keep the rate afloat. If it cannot, then yep, aim for slightly lower levels here. And the last pair for this session is going to be the euro dollar. Now, I talked about this one this morning, and what I was saying, that in order for us to get excited about higher levels, we needed to see a nice good push above the 1.0878 zone. Now we did get that, we did get a nice push, but as you can see, the bulls are kind of losing the battle here to the bears. The big question here is where this will end today, because if it stays, and let me just quickly draw this one on the chart. So if it stays above this upside support line, now still there could be a little chance here for the bulls to push this one back to the upside for a larger correction. But if this upside line suddenly gets broken, then well, would put us in a little bit of a cautious situation here. I'm not saying that we're going to aim for lower levels. For us to aim for lower levels, we need to see a drop below this current February low near the 1.0777 zone. Only then we will aim for further declines. This is from where we could become a little bit more comfortable, let's put it that way. All this territory would be somewhat of a neutral one for us because it's a little bit tricky here, but for now keep your eyes on this little short-term upside line, and of course again keep your eyes on this 1.0878 zone, because if we do get another push above this, then yep, we may see this one drifting further north here. For now, we're very careful, and we're keeping a close eye on this upside line here. We're gonna see how it performs, how it trades around it. Okay guys, I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for sticking around and watching it till the end. If you want to join me tomorrow morning, as always, at my Traders Espresso, 7 o'clock GMT time. For now, I hope you have a beautiful trading day, or should I say the remaining trading day. And if you're finished, yep, if you're for today, then yep, have a wonderful evening. And to be honest, everyone have a wonderful evening. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.